so slow and still. Fading dream, a hazy blur, a whispered word. Soft laughter on a sunny afternoon. With the homies, everything's in tune. Everything's in tune.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Cocktails with the Homies. My name is Daniel, I'm your host this evening. Today we're in a beautiful seaside little part of San Diego, La Jolla, in a beautiful Italian restaurant. Rather than me tell you about it, I would like to introduce you our next bartender. Gavin, if you'd like to introduce yourself, tell us where we are and what you do here.
Yeah, my name is Gavin. This is Dora Ristorante. We're out in La Jolla, just across from the La Jolla Playhouse. I bartend here, maitre d' as well. Been here since the beginning. We are, a younger restaurant, but
how long have you guys been open?
Only about 3 months now. Still finding our feet in some ways, but
sure.
Super stoked about everything that's going on. Nerdy, passionate team, and it shows. Yeah,
man. So, I think I would like to just start with the most obvious to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're 21 years old.
Yep.
You've been 21 how long?
we're almost there. I turned 22 in April.
Okay.
So we're inching
there.
there.
We're about
there.
the end of our 21 years.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's pretty inspiring watching you make these cocktails, be 21, and be very, very knowledgeable about what you're doing. Can you talk about that and tell us kind of like how you got your start and where this all kind of came to be?
Yeah, totally. So I've been in hospitality. That was my first job, 16, started working at In-N-Out, and then kind of fell into a job busing at Marisi in La Jolla. Opened that restaurant at 18. And really saw that there's levels to this shit, for lack of a better way to put that, right? There's people who deeply, deeply care about what they're doing. There's, real potential for cool things to happen, right? And so I think I was struck by, again, just that passion, and that pushed me to, work essentially every position in that restaurant. I started again as a busser, progressed through serving, and then the day after my 21st birthday, started bar backing there. Cards kind of fell my way. Spot opened up for bartending actually, and got in again very, very young. I've been passionate about food and about that kind of human element of drinking and coming together over food. And my dad was a chef, and he lives up in the Bay Area.
So you've had an influence for a while now about food and
totally,
stuff like that.
Totally, yeah. From some of my most fond memories, with my family up there, really come around food and around wine. Again, being close to Napa and that kind of food and wine hub that is in San Francisco as well. That kind of understanding that these two things go together has definitely been a big part of my life. I think since I've been able to eat and drink.
Yeah, I love it. What kind of pushed you to kind of dive into this craft as technical as you see it, rather than take the easy way out as a 21-year-old already bartending and go to PB and make a good amount of money just singing vodka sodas? Yeah,
I like to say I really didn't have a choice. Again, the people in the bar program at Marisi, absurd, seriously absurd for a restaurant that does that many covers in a night to be slanging what they slang is pretty impressive. It is genuinely a cocktail bar in a restaurant. I've seen some incredibly talented and very passionate bar people come through there. And again, that kind of just struck me that again, there is levels to this shit. And again, serving drinks before I was able to drink them, and having to learn the technical side of them to be able to talk about them. I can bullshit the flavor all day long, right? But when I was able to say that this was clarified through a centrifuge and be able to talk about what that means to a guest, again, I think it kind of really shaded my brain to all other forms of bartending. This is the way. It feels good to be proud of the drinks you're serving, and I think it makes a damn good product. I think that there's technical mixology for mixology sense, but I think it genuinely puts out just better products, and again, it feels better serving that.
I think that's an interesting point, that you're over here at 19 serving. You couldn't drink, so you had to learn everything else to kind of talk to them about, to sell them, because they know you're not 21.
They fucking one look at me, they know, yeah.
But to be able to convince a 40-year-old say
Totally.
of this cocktail and how much he likes it and how much he's gonna like it and all this, and sell them on the experience.
Yep.
That's a pretty interesting way to kind of understand the craft before you even are able to practice it.
Totally. Yeah, and actually it's funny. I mean, that same thing I'm still, dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Like, I am young behind the bar, and our clientele here is a little on that older side, maybe a little more particular. And so there is definitely this element of having to like earn trust in a way to, again, we can slang cool Garbaldias all day long, but I could be talking out of my ass for all they know,
Yeah.
So, being competent behind the sticks and
I'm sure the trust they feel once they taste it and then they combine
Sure.
all the stuff you just told them that was actually correct.
Yeah.
And you're not like
Yeah.
bullshitting them to complete that experience. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That must be super satisfying.
It really is.
Being here in the middle of the UCSC campus, do you find like you have to convince people more, like be like a little extra, like I know what I'm talking about because like, the school, the people know what they're talking about.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, honestly, some of my favorite guests, they're actually chemistry professors.
Oh, I love it.
Again, we nerd out. It's fucking great. But yeah, they're cool as hell. But
Yeah,
I think,
I can see you having a great conversation with a chemistry professor here. Like, this is all chemistry.
It
like, really
1,000% is, yeah. And so again, to be able to like talk about a centrifuge with these people is, super cool.
Well, I should watch one day. They just walk up with like some scientific
my
instrument.
God, yeah.
Like, I got this for you.
Dude, I would
Make a
cry,
cocktail.
honestly. I would cry, yeah. That would be sponsored by the chemistry department, yeah.
That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, no, I do think though, yeah, I mean, people, they drive, out here and then they park and they walk in and they're like, where the hell am I? Again, we're a new restaurant, so kind of getting our name out there. So there is definitely an eyebrow raise or two, honestly, when they come in. The biggest question I get asked every day behind the bar is if I'm a student here. That is number one by far. Like, and so yeah, again, being, again, competent when making these drinks, speaking confidently about these things and actually like knowing what I'm talking about, that's, a massive part of being able to like successfully, deliver a good experience like that. So,
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think like the worst thing to an experience is to like when they take a sip and they find out you're just bullshitting. Like,
totally. Yeah, totally.
That's the worst.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the counterbalance of the, again, kind of technical aspect of cocktail making. The question of like, could you or should you is, should be all day long, right?
Yeah.
Where again, we can, rest with an enzyme and spins all this shit, like all that. But if you put out, a totally mediocre cocktail or, what's the point, right? Like, I think actually, again, the Garbaldia is a super cool kind of, version of that where we were trying to get really cute with it. Really, really cute
Let's
with
talk about it. Let's
yeah,
talk about the drinks on here.
totally.
We have your Garbaldia right in front of you?
Yeah, this Garbaldi, again, as an Italian restaurant, felt right. Probably, yeah. Again, I have a special place in my heart for this cocktail. I love how simple it is. I love the history behind it of, General Garibaldi uniting North and South Italy with his, army of orange coats and all that, right? So I think, it's a beautiful cocktail in its own right. But again, we were getting really cute, settled on orange shrub. So just kind of bringing that maybe a more rounded orange flavor, also maybe a little more acid and brightness than you typically get from just fresh orange juice. Campari as is. Then we'll foam orange juice with a foam magic, a touch of more citric acid again, just for brightness. That'll do her.
Cool.
Yeah, nothing more, nothing less.
Fantastic cocktail.
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about this guy right in front of us? This is my favorite, by the way, from the he's made us.
It's our Sicilian Margarita. It was the first one I put on the menu. We are super low waste in that approach. We use our leftover grapefruits and oranges from when we peel, garnish. We'll juice those, blend that juice with some of the peels, a bit of citric acid and sugar, make our super grapefruit. We'll do that with Blanco tequila, Luxardo's aperitivo, Ancho Reyes, that chili liqueur, and a touch of fresh lime, house-made tahini on the rim. It's bright, it's crushable as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bomb. It's bomb. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
So being 21,
Yeah.
You're already kind of leading a bar. Do you have any influences that you kind of touch on to help, like, push your understanding of this craft further?
Yes. Again, those guys over in the kind of early days at Marisi behind the bar, just studs all around. They were incredibly passionate and knew what the hell they were talking about. In particular, bar lead over there, when I was, again, not able to work behind the bar, but Brandon, just the man. Again, incredibly passionate, knew what he was talking about. He put on a rotating milk punch, again, for a 200 cover a night restaurant. Like, that's pretty gnarly stuff. He went on to write his own book. This is a cocktail book, and that was definitely a big influence for me. Again, just kind of watching his passion behind the bar, and then seeing how knowledgeable he was kind of post, again, when I was able to get behind that bar, understanding everything he was doing. And then, he comes out with this book where he's talking about, history and theory and technique and, anything from basics, just, this is how you stir a cocktail, to, again, he's, sourcing, multiple historians to get down to the bottom of where, the Gibson comes from, right? Yeah. So, again, his overall passion and kind of, again, understanding and mastery of the craft was pretty inspiring.
I bet.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. And again, the bar program that him and the bar directors built over at Marisi, like, we're force carbonating 3 cocktails on the menu, again, clarifying a bunch of stuff, making cordials with sous vides, the proper techniques for these things that, again, it kind of forced, in a positive way, like, that's how I would, move forward in the scene as well, right?
Fuck a PB bar. Like,
yeah, it's no offense. Yeah, you're doing good stuff out there. Yeah, you're doing good stuff. Yeah.
But I can see why you're just like enthralled by what's going on, and why go backwards?
Totally. I think I was very much blessed in the sense that my first bar experience bartending or bar backing and serving these cocktails was, again, in this incredibly technical environment that. That's the way. This is what we're gonna do. This is the way, man. Yeah, I got nothing else. Yeah.
Because you're so young.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself kind of like now being where you are and kind of like already doing the thing? Obviously, you're gonna be here for a little bit. Yeah. But do you see yourself kind of hitting like bigger cocktail places in the world now? Like, do you kind of see yourself in New York now, or like San Francisco again?
Yeah.
Or?
No, absolutely. Yes, is the answer. I think that it would be a shame. I mean, I love San Diego. San Diego's fucking great, right? But I think it'd be a shame with the quality of bar that is out there in the world, and again with the international kind of play that this industry has, right? I mean, that's why this stuff is so appealing as well. Like the fact that I can just
go anywhere,
kind of just say fuck it and move wherever I want. That's pretty darn appealing. So yeah, absolutely. I love a little kind of getaway to San Francisco in particular. Trick Dog up there, True Laurel. These, I mean, just banging bars, right?
Seriously.
Doing incredible stuff. And yeah, I think that it's really cool to get very hands-on with the bar program here. Learn what it's like to kind of build one from scratch in a sense.
Sure.
And I think there's a baseline of understanding, but I'm hungry for more always. And I think that yeah, absolutely, that is definitely in the cards.
You're all into this craft, as it seems. Yeah. Do you have a good way to kind of disconnect? do you know when enough is enough for the day, and just like cut off and just like not even think about it?
I would like to get better at that, I will say. No, it's definitely
I appreciate that, because like I was very young in the cooking industry, and I gave it 24 hours every day.
Totally.
And I never had that, and I never had someone tell me like, well, what do you do to stop? Because I never stopped.
No, yeah, what's the point? Yeah, no, totally. You have time to stop? Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I have all this energy. I don't need to stop.
Exactly.
So, I wish someone asked me. So I want to ask you, what do you do to kind of disconnect and completely get away from it?
Totally. I think that's part of another interesting aspect of this industry, is that there is obviously a need to get away from it. It is so consuming, and it's social, it's technical, it's physical, like, I mean, all encompassing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's hard, the disconnect that I always kind of love, going out with, my lady and getting some dinner or something, right? But then I order, but then I get a drink, right? And I'm like, shit, can I make something better at home? Or should I got that drink or whatever, right? Yeah. So, no, I've been gardening a lot lately at home. That's been a massive, leave the phone inside, I don't know, maybe crank some tunes if that's happening, but I don't know, plant some herbs, water the plants, trim some stuff up, I've been making compost, like little things. I mean, it takes an hour, 2 a day maybe at the most, but again, just get some sunshine on your back, clearing the head for a bit. Honestly, that coupled with my youthful energy, I think I've been able to balance it, quite nice. Yeah, for now, again, we'll, need to get better, but yeah.
I love it. What a grounding kind of opposite of slow,
totally,
meaningful, but with something that'll never tell you how meaningful that was. You know what I mean? Other than the fruit that you get at the very end.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, we're cranking out. I'm batching and creating cocktails, right? But it's very immediate. Obviously, that feedback. Yeah. So I planted some flowers. who knows if they're going to live? Yeah, who knows, right? You know, I got to wait 30 days to see sprouts, and then I got to go, you know, so that patience is, that delayed gratification, yeah, definitely kind of balances it out nice.
Yeah, what a great counter to like that instant you get from here, you know?
Totally. It's a rush working service. I mean,
it is. It really is. And that's what pulled me away from the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it, but like, that gratification wasn't there until I went to the bar, and then the person in front of me was like, "That's great.
Yeah.
Give me another one." And I was like, "Oh,
totally."
yeah,
Yeah. I absolutely. I think that's again another thing that has pushed me to become knowledgeable and technical about these things is like I am absolutely a sucker for that, like dealer's choice, or even if I'm not creating something, you know, dealer's choicing somebody a classic that I've been nerding out about, and then to watch them taste it because I knew that they were going to like it based on something else they like, and then to have them have this like holy shit moment, and again order another drink or trust me with another, you know, creating something on my own, or like that is a feeling I'm definitely, you know, chasing on a daily basis.
That dealer's choice is like so like undervalued, I think, in a lot of places. Like some bartenders don't like it, or some are afraid. But I'm like, Jason O'Brien put it best. He's like, dealer's choice gave me the opportunity to try to find something new for me, to create something new.
Yeah.
Like you just put random things together. Like a lot of things happen by happenstance, you know, like by mistake, and you're just like, oh shit, this is great. I didn't know why I did this, but it worked out. Yeah. You know. Yeah. I think dealer's choices are a great way to like expand what you can do. You turn around and you're just like, what do I do?
Well, shit. Yeah, I know, totally. But I think that's like, again, you know, kind of how I've, you know, focused on learning about cocktails. Again, the you know, Death and Co Codex, breaking it down into families. Yeah. You know, that is a fantastic, again, just kind of framework, right? You know, golden ratios in your head, you know, 2-on-1, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, letting whatever the, you know, guests kind of push you towards, you know, awesome, that's my modifying liqueur, you know, this is my base, you know, spirit, this is, you know, how sweet do they want it, how not sweet do they want it, you know, are we going bitter or not, like, so yeah, I think that breaking it down in that kind of almost like a mathematical approach to it has definitely made those easy, or not easy in a way, but, you know, maybe a little more easier, and yeah, it's definitely kind of opened me up to, you know, some new possibilities and new flavor combinations you never, you know, think of, right?
I would hope so.
Yeah, right. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Because my favorite like dealer's choice is when I give them, and then I try, and I'm like, oh shit, that was good. And then he tries it, he's like, oh shit, that was good. And
yeah.
Look at that. We both learned that together.
Literally, yeah, we just cracked the code. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and I think it's important to have another thing about, you know, kind of putting guests at ease is like there's a free return policy here. If I whip up some absolutely heinous something, like you are free to return it and tell me it's horrible. Like we'll be cool about this, you know. Yeah.
Tell me it sucks, I'm like, give me one.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'll put my head down. We'll be all right. You know. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So something I kind of wanted to touch on that I haven't asked too many bartenders. How do you keep your mental health good? Because this job is very demanding. You get demanding from guests. You get a demanding thing from management in the restaurant and the kitchen, and like everyone is demanding things from you all day.
Absolutely.
How do you take a second, take a step back, and demand something from yourself?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go, is demand it from yourself. I think that pulling on external factors is the quickest way to burn yourself out because it's so variable. I mean, if I'm purely basing how my day is going off of guests perception purely, then I'm gonna have a bad day every day, right? If I'm doing it off my manager's happiness purely, I'm gonna have a bad day, right? Yeah, always gonna have a bad day. Yeah. So yeah, definitely, again, learning something new every day. You're showing up to work, giving a shit for yourself is the biggest deal, I think, because again, you can get little sprinkles of, that kind of, some enjoyment out of, again, the people around you, but I think it has to come from you purely, and then there's room for other things to come in. You gotta stay pretty confident on and that's another thing, actually, maybe is the confidence aspect. I think that it's really easy to get broken down.
Sure.
And again, if you're purely basing it off of how people are, interpreting what you're doing. So yeah, being, incredibly self-confident, and again, I'm here for a reason. I'm here because I want to be, and again, I care about what I'm doing, like that. I think that's how I
think that's the hardest part,
yeah.
Because we care so much, and to get a guest that shits on whatever you're doing so hard sometimes.
Totally.
It's a rough. It's hard to kind of take that in and then turn around and keep smiling.
Absolutely.
What I mean?
Or to put yourself out there again. I think that's another, like, that has to come from in here, because, you know, again, well, you're mixing this, you know, next dealer's choice, that person shit all over my first one, you know, like, no, you have to be, you know, I played a lot of sports growing up as a kid. My dad all the time talking about next play, next play, next play. Don't compound an error with an error.
Love it.
You know, yeah, that's you know, clear your head.
I like your dad.
Dad's a fucking swell guy. You know, yeah, he can hang. Yeah, he can hang. Yeah. So yeah, that be cool here. You know, that's the best way I can probably put that.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. In an industry that's really suffering sometimes, I think that's a really humbling mentality to kind of come back to. And you know, it goes back to everything you do. You go and garden, you do things alone, and you like kind of center yourself with earth and with music and things that like
absolutely,
you know, are beautiful, and things that kind of like bring you back to you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that mentality, my man.
For sure.
I think, you know, for being 21 years old, you are eons beyond your age.
Appreciate
I'm telling
that.
you,
Thanks.
like I meet a lot of people, and then I interview a lot of people in this industry.
Yeah.
And not a lot do I get this vibe from. And it's humbling to me as even an interviewer, you know what I mean? Like I'm a part of this industry, and then I get to see everyone's kind of mentality.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, my man.
I appreciate you a whole bunch. That's
awesome.
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of it for me, my man. I got a good drink. I got a good conversation. I'm happy.
No, me as well. Shit, I'll crush this Garbaldia and we'll have a good day. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, Gavin. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you
for having us here and making some cocktails for us and
anytime.
And shedding a little bit of light on this industry that, in some parts, is very dark. And you know, like to have this kind of positive mentalities, it's awesome. It's awesome to see, and I hope you thrive here, brother. And I hope I see you in different cities and maybe with your own book one day.
No, hell yeah. Well, I'll see you then. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, guys. Looks like a tequila sunrise. Can we curve that one?